Now this is the all-new 2023 Nissan Leaf. This is the E Plus 59 kilowatt variant, so it's got the bigger battery. It has about 400 k's of range on a full charge, and as you can see, it looks way better than the old existing Leaf. Now today I'll be going over the interior, the exterior, and I'll be showing you the driving of this Leaf, and it drives really well. So let's start off with the front of the vehicle. So you've got full LED headlights, you've got 4 parking sensors on the front and 4 on the rear, and that's to obviously help with your parking. Move around here, you've got a radar built in the front over here somewhere. You've got a radar, you've got a secondary camera. This is for your front view parking camera, and there's 4 cameras around the vehicle which work to create a 360 view around your vehicle, so it helps when you're parking and you can see where you are in the spot. So this camera obviously really helped me get perfectly in between these lines. Next, you can see these alloy wheels on the side. These are new and they look a lot better. They're 215/50 and they are 17 inches in size, the alloy wheel, and obviously a fog light up front. You've got a blacked out door mirror, door mirrors, and you've got blind spot monitoring built in, an indicator built in there with a camera. Let's see, with a camera at the bottom. Got chrome door handles, tinted rear glass. Moving on back to the back, obviously same size wheels as the front, they didn't change it up. The back looks way better than the old one. These are not full LED lights as well, they are incandescent with like halogen bulbs, but that is still good. You've got a top mounted brake light, the new Nissan logo with the more grey and white accents to it, another camera for the rear, more parking sensors, obviously another 4 on the rear as I said when I was at the front. Moving back to this side, it's the exact same as the other side. No solar panel on the roof, unlike my 2016 Nissan Leaf. It does have a small solar panel just to charge the 12-volt battery. Now let's obviously take a look at this charge port, which I will show you. So to open up the charge port, you can either go inside, press the charge port, or you can use this key which Nissan gives you. Obviously it's got that new Nissan logo. There's a button at the bottom to charge port. If you push that, it unlocks it, but if you push and hold, it opens it up just like my old Leaf. Makes the same beeping noise as well. Let's focus in. Obviously opening it up, you see you've got DC CHAdeMO and you've got AC Type 2 plug. This will charge at 50 kilowatts. In this one, I'm not sure. I'll put that charging speed into the video. I think it's 6.6, so if I'm wrong, I'll put the correct one. And this car has, obviously I said 59 kilowatt hour battery, but it's not air cooled. I mean, it's not liquid cooled, it's only air cooled. So it does get hot while DC fast charging and will slow down. Now let's look at the interior. So I'm on the side of the road here, but obviously no one's coming. Anyway, this is a lot nicer than my one. It's got leather on the actual door padding. It's a bit firm, but it's nice to actually rest your arms on. It's got soft leather here, and like my one, it's firm up at the top, like hard plastic, but soft over here. The points where you touch it, it's soft. Bose branded sound system. It's got a 7-speaker Bose sound system with a subwoofer in the boot. Well, 6-speaker, I think, and 1 subwoofer in the boot. Controls for your windows, and obviously controls for your mirrors. This car also automatically unfolds the mirrors when you unlock the car, and automatically folds it in when you lock the car. Now let's close the door and let's actually take a look at the inside of the vehicle. So when you're inside, you can see it says to push brake pedal and power switch to start. So you have to push the brake, which you do like that, and then you've got this power switch. Instead of being over there, it's over here. You push that, leaves a little startup animation. Okay. Yep, so that's your display. There's lots of configurability with this display. You can see I can go there, to that, and like within each display there's more options. Not for that one. For this one you can see, because there's 2 dots on the side, you can configure your display as settings. Now I prefer to leave it on this display, but again, there are a lot. So there's a 8-inch touchscreen in front of for the infotainment. And this is obviously not a full digital. You can see analog gauges with warnings on here, around that side, and only on this side is the digital display. Let me turn that flashlight off. Yeah. Now for the trip meter, you can push that to adjust your trip. So 22 kilometers on the odometer. This is like a brand new car. And 16 Ks on trip A. B is 16.6 and 22 for the odometer. Now let's move to the center console here. So 8-inch touchscreen. I'll come back to this a bit later after I do the interior, just before I go into driving. And I've just driven this car down that like hill area. It's really nice to drive. It feels just like my old Leaf, which is a good thing. That old Leaf is really nice to drive. It handles really well. This one's steering is lighter, so it's actually nice in the city. And it does have adaptive cruise, so it does make traffic a lot easier. I'll talk about safety as well later when we're on the road. So down here you've got gear shifter, same thing as my Leaf 2016, it's just matte black, piano black, which some people hate, some people like. I like the look of it, but it will scuff up easily. You've obviously got your gear shifter, so up for reverse, you push P for park. Neutral, you just hold it on the side, and then when you put it in down, it'll go into D, and you push it down again, it'll go into B mode, which is added regen. And E pedal is one pedal driving, and I've used it on my way here, and it performed really well. It's really nice, really smooth, like really well calibrated, perfect system. And eco mode, which I leave on my Leaf because it makes the acceleration easier. On this one, you can drive with it turned off, it's fine. AC controls, so you can push it to turn it on. Let's turn that down. So you can go all the way down. It's a single zone climate system, but push for auto. And obviously all the standard AC modes you've got. And yeah, there's a heat pump as well, which you have to activate separately. Same thing as in my Leaf. This control is a bit different. It does look a bit different, like the base model version of the old Leaf. The top spec version, I think it used to look like the one that's in my Leaf, but I think they changed it up for the slight facelift upgrade of this vehicle. Yeah, and obviously nice center armrest and decent size. For a car this size, it's decently sized. So let's talk about the seats. They are very comfortable. This is obviously full leather with a bit of Alcantara, suede, something like that. It's really nice to sit in, really comfortable, and it is perforated, so it doesn't really get that hot. Unlike something like the Tesla, which does get warm, but the seats are really comfortable in those too. It's just they think they just need perforation like this one has. They're not air-cooled seats, they only have, again, heated seats. There's also no heated steering wheel as far as I can tell. I'll put up, if I can find it later maybe, I'll just edit into the video if it has one, but I don't think it has a heated steering wheel. My one does. It's not the end of the world, I don't use it that often. I prefer a cold steering wheel, unless you live somewhere where it's like really cold. I don't think it's the biggest thing. You've got a rear mirror like that, and you can see, maybe at the back, you can see a little bump there. That's actually a camera. So that's another camera which this car has, and when you push it back like that, it's a digital rear view mirror, which the quality isn't the greatest, but honestly, this is quite good. It means just easy to see, and obviously that has your camera, which you'll have seen. You got this, and to open this, you pull down on that. I don't know what that's for, that little bit, but it does have a light. This side also has the same thing, airbag warning light as well. I don't think my Leaf has that. You've got a heated rear seats. I think these are only for the outboard seats. I don't know if it's for the center seat. I will update that as I review the car and I view some of the more technical specifications when I get home. I did look at them before I came here, and I didn't see anything about heated seats, but I was more looking at the specifications of the car. I do think this car is very much designed to be a like the old Leaf. It's more like a facelift. So let's hop in the back seat. There's no carpets in this car because this car is basically brand new. Mostly it's a showroom model, only 22Ks obviously. Most of it's going to be by me at this point. SRS airbag. So this car does have 6 airbags, very safe. Safety again later. These rear seats, they are like, how do I show this? It's like really soft. This is really comfortable at the back. That's behind my seating position. Now I am not the tallest person in the world. I am like, I think 165 centimeters, not the tallest, but that is like a lot of space. Tow room though, like down there, it's pretty restricted, although sit like that. No air vents in the rear. I think underneath this would be your high voltage battery switch, so you could disconnect it if something happens. Heated rear seats, nice switch. I don't know why they have just one switch, because one switch controls the whole heated rear seats. It would be nice if there was one there and one there, because it's only for the outboard seats, or maybe just something built in somewhere here. So You've got no center armrest though, in the back seat, no cup holders like that. But the seats are very comfortable, and since this is mainly a city car, I would assume, I don't know many people who'd want to take this on a road trip just because it's not a liquid cooled battery, and you'll have to spend way longer at charging stations than you would normally have to. Now, let's quickly go into the boot. So let's open this. I would like if they had offered this car with a white interior though. It just makes the inside look a lot nicer. So it's manual struts. You got a charging cable back here, and this is obviously a CCS cable. So you plug this on one end, and then the other end is a CCS as well. You can tell by the shape. Both things. My one has the exact same sub as this. It's actually a pretty decent sound system for the car. So you can see there's actually a little, quite a bit of boot storage here. More than my car, definitely. But there's a big lip here. Underneath this, I'm pretty sure you do actually have a full-size spare tire. Actually, let me move this cable out of the way. Ugh. No spare tire there. Never mind. I think it's under the car. Yeah, it's under the car. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, you can. It's a full-size spare tire. This car also does have a pedestrian warning system at the back, which, you know, can get annoying. I always turn it off. I can't find a way to turn it off in this car. Also, camera is like right there, if you can see. Let me actually show you that front camera as well. That's part of the safety, and I'll talk about it. So your camera is up there, and that, along with your, I think that's your rain sensor. So this camera is obviously bigger than my one. I think it's an upgraded ProPilot system. I don't know if it actually has ProPilot. It does not have lane centering, but I think Nissan's overall like safety suite is called ProPilot, so it technically has ProPilot. Obviously your camera, rain sensor, and there is obviously that radar which I talked about earlier. And so it has a autonomous emergency braking for cyclists, pedestrians, and obviously vehicles. Much higher speed than my one because it has that radar. My one only works up to 80 km an hour because it's only a camera-based system in my 2016, and obviously that was only available in Japan because they didn't bring that vehicle to the US with those extra upgrades. So you've got all that. You've got a lane departure warning with a lane departure prevention system. I couldn't get it to activate. I had it turned on. It wasn't showing any lanes or anything on the dashboard. Might be calibrating or something. It wasn't activating, but it does activate the brake on one side or whatever to bring your vehicle back into the lane, unlike the Japanese Leafs, which actually have ProPilot, which will steer the car back into your lane, and when you have cruise control enabled, it will actually center your car in the lane for you. And the New Zealand Leafs lack that. They also lack self-parking, which the Japanese cars have. And I have a feeling that's to do because Japanese cars have an extra parking sensor here and an extra parking sensor here. And I think because this car doesn't have that, it cannot do the ProPilot parking assist. So now, let's actually hop in, and I've done enough talking. Time to take this thing for a drive. So while we're in the car, let's go over the infotainment screen. And as you can see, it's a bit slow. It's kind of like my Nissan Leaf. It's very much the same type of look to it with the same kind of bottom bars and everything. It's a good system. You've obviously got, you can customize your home menu, so you can add your own widgets, you can add your own apps that you want, you can move it around. I think it has Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, at least it should, that's what I was told. Yeah, so you can go over the map. You have a whole map. It's a bit slow, but actually no, what, quite fast. I'm used to like Tesla maps or BYD, where they're like really fast, and this one, obviously I can imagine it is a bit slower, but for a car of this type of age, like that was originally like released, I think in 2017, a very nice system. It hasn't really been overhauled that much. It's actually really nice, and well, obviously the radio thing is not perfect just because we're not on the correct band, but yeah, it works like really well. So we'll actually navigate back because I have to be back, I think, by 10:15 today to return the car. But yeah, I'll show you the driving of this vehicle, and it drives, you know, really well. Actually, wait, just before that, this is the camera. So parking assist is off. Never mind, it's on. Yeah, so it's a 360 camera. I'll compare it to the one in my vehicle. It's kind of similar. The lines on here on the side to, you know, separate the cameras is slightly smaller. Cars like BYD obviously have it like full, no lines or anything. It's like really good. In this one, yeah, there is small lines and stuff, but a very good camera. It's just a bit dull. It looks a bit more dull, not as lively, but yeah, so this is a bit hard. 12-volt socket. Anyway, it's still actually really nice. I think this infotainment screen, in my opinion, this is probably the best layout. You've got, you know, volume controls, you've got all this type of controls here, buttons on the side for quick access, plus you've got the aircon down here. This is a very nice like system. If you're buying this car, you'll probably really appreciate that not everything is on touchscreen. Tesla does it right. It's really easy to access the important things, but some cars do it really badly, and you've really got to dive really deep into some menus, and it's unpleasant. This thing, though, is probably the best layout in my opinion. Anyway, let's go to driving.
After 50 meters.
How do I turn off that voice? Settings, navigation, and guidance settings. There we go. Guidance volume.
Voice output.
Off. Thank you. I leave traffic announcement and stuff on. Let's buckle up and let's go. Car's got 86% battery left, claiming 291. Let's obviously go back. Let's look at this. Nice. Put into yes. Okay, now. I always find it hard to use these car systems just because it's a bit harder. It actually does show parking, and it will show you let's turn on e-pedal. It will show you the actual places you can park on this and the charges. So now, so one thing which there's actually a speed limiter and a adaptive cruise, no lane centering. One thing which is weird is that the indicator is on the opposite side. There's no one behind me, I'll just stop. The indicator on this is on this left side, and New Zealand cars is typically on the right. I find it weird that it's like that. Okay, let's turn left here. And we're going down this little road. So I have e-pedal on. I have it on this driver display. I just wish this car had Pro Pilot, and I'm going to turn on this Pro Pilot. There's a button for Pro Pilot, and it brings up something on the dash, but I don't know what exactly it does, because it doesn't really do anything that I know. It doesn't really, I can't even see the lane lines. Maybe you have to go over 60. Yeah, this is just a bit off. Yeah, even going downhill, it does seem to work. Ooh, yes, the adaptive cruise, not the adaptive cruise. The one pedal driving is actually really nice in this car. Like, I've been driving this whole way on one pedal. This feels like, honestly, I have to say it, I think it might be better than Tesla's one pedal driving. Really smooth. Maybe the stopping on the Tesla is slightly smoother, but this one does have a really nice, just a very smooth one pedal driving system. Let's actually go around and do a U-turn and go up the hill. I kind of had to find this place in a hurry because I did not know where I could film. I want to film at the dealership, but I didn't really know whether that would be the best place to film. I thought something like this, where it's scenic, would be a better place to film. Now obviously it picks up speed quite nicely. If I turn e-pedal off, it accelerates slightly faster, because the accelerator is only for the accelerator. It's not using any region braking when you let off. So, you know what? This is very good. The seats are manually adjustable. I forgot to say that. Both front passenger and driver, which is, you know, for a car that's, I think it's 73,000 before rebate, is definitely a bit, you know, I don't think that's the best way. It's not the worst though, and there have been worse cars, like very expensive and not the best tech. I like this car though. Driving it, I think it's worth it. I don't know how much the road noise is coming into the thing, but I can definitely tell you that driving this road in my old 2016 Leaf, it would be a lot louder. This is actually way quieter than my old Leaf, and I enjoy that. So it's 7.9 kilometers to get back, and I'll get there at 10:05. So that'll give me a lot of time to talk about this car. So actually, if I set the cruise control here, so I can just, you know, kind of relax. I'll set it at 54. Yeah. So it does have a speed warning thing, and it is showing that it's 50, and it's flashing because I'm going 54. I don't know what the GPS speed. In my Leaf, at the low speeds, it's a 4-kilometer difference. In this one, I'm not sure. There is no lane centering, so I obviously have to just turn myself. That is fine though. There's not showing any lanes on the screen though, so I'm not sure why that is. That camera is obviously not blocked. I don't know what that's about, so it takes slow down. Okay, maybe it is a 40 zone. Oh no, that's probably just for the corners that you have to slow down to 40. No. Maybe it is. Okay, so let's take it for a bit of a drive here through these corners. Not exceeding the speed limit, obviously. Ooh, that's a very nice acceleration out of the corner. This thing has a 110 kilowatts of power from the motor and 330. So there's no one at all behind me. So let me just stop here in the road. You can see the one pedal driving brings down nice and quick. and stops you right there. Lets you creep forward a little bit, and then let's turn on normal drive. Eco mode is off. Let's just floor it. Keep it off. We just reached full speed when we hit 60. Yeah, let's turn all that back on. I keep eco mode off in this car, but that was really insane performance from this car. This is like way faster. Obviously now someone's coming up behind me. A nice Mercedes actually. It is very like responsive. It's really smooth. Like this car is really well tuned. Like it's really well thought out. Steering wheel. My one is kind of firm leather, kind of like this. This one feels like dry over here though. I like that. It's I kind of like that. I didn't think I would. I prefer like maybe softer steering wheels, especially if it's leather. But it feels like really good. Yeah, this is a perfect car. I think this car, if it was priced a little better than 73,000 for the extended range, maybe 65. This would be a good buy. 65 if it has stuff like adaptive cruise and well, it has adaptive cruise, but like Pro Pilot, so it can actually at least center itself in the lane. You know, I don't really care so much about automatic parking. It needs something like to help the driver on long stretches. This has 400 k's of range. I'm assuming this is mostly a city car, but I mean, if this is someone's only car, they will be using it for taking long drives. You know, I would take this on a long drive. It's very comfortable. The suspension is soft, but honestly, it's taking these corners really well. I didn't think I'd say that for a car which is very soft and designed for the city. It's doing this really well. I'm actually very surprised, and I don't think that Pro Pilot switch does anything. I'll just leave it on. Nicely slowing down. I have noticed one time adaptive cruise did kind of overreact a little bit when I was see, lane. There's not really any lane departure system. Maybe I have to be off cruise control. Anyway, it kind of is a bit overactive. In my car, it's less active, which is, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. I think it's fine because it only works if sometimes I try it out and it always beeps at me to, hit the brake or lane. Always works. This one, I don't know how to activate it, so I'm probably missing something. I have gone through the settings and I did say lane activate, but it didn't do it. Ooh. Okay, here we go. So we're taking a left. I have to remember. So there's a Kia Soul indicating left. Nice. Let's go. That is one of the best things about this car, is that it's electric. So you get that whole ability to just accelerate in the roundabouts when you need to. That is something which I think some cars are just not like. That's why I prefer driving this type of electric vehicle. Oh, let me put the following distance to thing. Let me put the speed to 54. It does take a while to get used to that left indicator. On the Tesla, I'm used to it just because I see Tesla. I know it's probably on the left side. It is slowing down nicely. We'll have to take over for this intersection. No, let's see how it handles it. I don't think this has the Pro Pilot 1.5 or whatever with the adaptive cruise, which actually slows down for the corners. I think it's only basic adaptive cruise. I don't think this has any sort of Pro Pilot anything. Let's see, a car's turning. We're slowing down quite aggressively. And accelerates again. Tesla does that, and it's very annoying because it does take a while to accelerate. This one feels the same, maybe accelerates slightly faster once it realizes that there's no one in front. But there's a delay in both vehicles, and that's quite annoying. Again, it's not really designed to be used in this type of area. It's just, people just use it. A speed bump. Let's actually see how it handles that little speed bump. So let's turn off adaptive cruise. Not slowing down enough. Really nice and soft. I don't think that speed bump was, the biggest speed bump, but it was definitely really nice and soft. This is a very comfortable car. It's really good. It actually shows you on the nav the actual lane that you should be in. It says this right lane is a right turn only. Okay, we're coming up on this car. It's not slowing down. Ooh, yeah. So it's definitely not the smoothest adaptive cruise control system, I think. It's definitely a bit slower. Yeah, there's someone behind me, but who cares? It is definitely sometimes a bit jumpy. This is mostly reserved for motorway driving. It's obviously not designed. Also, there's someone in my blind spot, so if I do turn on the indicator, it beeps at me and then stops. So that's quite good. Now, I can't actually see that car ahead. It's not actually recognizing it, I think, because the radar is not seeing it. We have to take a right. I'll take a straight here though. Yeah, this is not the worst. There is actually, it does say lane is active, but it's not really doing anything. So we'll take a straight here because I'll get back at 10:06. I can get back a bit later. Ooh, no, it was slowing down a little bit. I didn't trust it all that much to slow down. Yeah, E-pedal's on, so I can just let off the brake. Parking sensor is activating, which, yeah, it's saying that I'm really close to the car in front. I'm not. Now it's gone. So when the parking sensors do come up though, it does show you on the center display. Can you see that? It thinks I'm really close to the car in front. Okay, I'm not. That was a bit weird. Though I think these are just small little issues. This car is brand new, 29Ks on the clock. So it is beeping at me. It is showing me in there that there's someone in my blind spot. I obviously have to merge over anyway, and he did give me space, so it's a bit overactive. Though I do think you can change how active that thing is. Yes, we'll take a left up here. It's a very nice vehicle. Actually, let's look at the efficiency. We're averaging 31 kilowatt hours per 100 Ks. I think that is partly due to the fact that this was kind of just sitting there on for a little bit, and obviously the dealer probably just had it sitting there on for quite a while as well. My Leaf averages 7.7 kilometers per kilowatt. It is a 2016 30 kilowatt G spec, so it is a top spec model as well. Sound system is also really good in this car, so we can go into this area, which I don't know what it is. So this is actually a big speed bump. Let's see. Very nice. Very softer than my Leaf, definitely. Very actually controlled. I do like that. You know what? Let's see if you can find a parking and see how easy it is to park this thing. Well, maybe not here. What is this place? Let's take a left here instead of a U-turn. Maybe not. Let's take. Oh yeah, let's take a left here. So there's lots of parking. I don't know if I can park here, but who cares? I'll just park here anyway. Yeah, nice area. Very nice for speed bumps. So I indicate to park. Actually, you know what? I'll indicate here because there are cars that are parked. It doesn't seem to pick them up at all in the system. Let's park how I normally do. So bring it forward, reverse. It makes that sound. I don't know how you can turn it off. It's probably something in the display itself. Instead of having a actual hard switch button. So yeah, parking it is very easy. It's very soft. So now let's head towards where we need to go, back to the dealership. You can see coming out of this corner, it's actually really nice and soft. Very really nice. Going back to my 2016 Leaf after this, I think will be definitely a bit weirder. I'll show you what the driver display is like because we're in a little car park. So let's take the phone off that. Show you this. So you see we're going around. Let's indicate right. So let's do U-turn again. One pedal driving for this is actually quite good. There's some people looking at the car. It's a good looking car, I won't lie. Yeah, so it is really nice. Very nice car actually. There's no entry up there, so I'll have to do a U-turn. I guess you can see the camera before I put it back on the mount. So you can activate when you're below 10Ks now. The camera can activate. So you push camera and it'll activate. Or when you get close to something like an obstacle, it will activate. So let's do that. And actually, if you do press the camera icon again, you do get a separate view over there. Anyway, let's mount this back onto its little stand. Let's turn the aircon up a little bit. I think the phone is getting a bit warm. Now let's go back and B. This car, I can't say it enough. This is a very impressive car. And I probably should say thank you to Armstrong's Nissan dealership, which actually gave me this car to review for, it's really nice. It's nice of them to give me the car and actually trust me driving a vehicle that is brand new with only 30Ks on the clock. So really nice. Very soft as well, the suspension, very good. this thing is a very nice daily, like honestly for a city car, this is probably the best one I could think of. It's got a 360 camera, not the highest quality, but it has a 360 camera. That's the important thing. It also has parking sensors all around the vehicle, 360 camera obviously, adaptive cruise control, so when you're in traffic you just leave that on. I actually want to see if we can find traffic. That's why I was wondering, like when I was coming here to Armstrong's in the morning, there was a bit of traffic and I really wished I had adaptive cruise control at that point. My car has cruise control but not adaptive, so you know it's definitely like a bit there. Actually we'll go in front there and we'll loop back around. Yeah, this is very nice to drive. I enjoy this car a lot. Very comfortable. So, you know, going off traffic lights, yeah, if I put in eco mode, it is softer. This is acceleration, it's easier. I actually like driving this though. I like driving this one in its not eco mode setting, but it's actual what do you call it? What would you call it? It's power mode. No, it's a power mode. I guess there's eco and normal. I don't think there's actually power, which is, you know. Ooh, no. There we go. Bit confusing roundabout. I do like this display though for the map. It does give you a very nice. It gives you like a little like icon on the right side. It gives you on the right side, right half of the screen, I should say. It shows you the whole map of New Zealand and your flag on where you're trying to go. You can zoom in and zoom out of that. I'm not going to bother, because on the left side it does show you the intersection, like close up, and what lane you should be in and how far away the turn is exactly, or like with the bar on the side, so you don't have to really look at the meters itself. And yeah, it's really good. So turning left here. Oh, it remembers the cruise control I set. Nice. 400 meters, we continue straight. It's a 60 zone here, so let's boom it up to 64. At least the car thinks it's 60, I am not so sure. I think the lane departure only works at 60, so yeah, you feel that? Okay, so that's the lane. So it doesn't show up on the screen, but so it brought itself back into the lane without me doing anything. So I think above 60 is when it activates, which, you know what? Yeah, that is valid. Activates above 60. Okay, let's put that to 2. Actually, let's hit the brake here because I have people coming there, but I can just zoom out before they can get there. Nice perk of owning an electric vehicle. It is actually quite windy outside today. I'm kind of sad the weather was no... I could have run that, but I didn't. I'm kind of sad that the weather is not so nice today. Kind of a shame. But yeah, you did see that lane departure. You probably heard the beep. Maybe you saw it on the screen. But yeah, you saw it. It doesn't really turn the wheel. Because it doesn't turn the wheel at all. Like that. It doesn't like turn it back in or whatever. It just hits the brake. I felt it slow down and bring itself back into the lane. And it has like obviously a big warning buzzer, so you actually know to bring it back. Which is, you know, good. That's good. It does what it's meant to. Very nice. Although, if it just had a steering wheel torque actuator, so it would have Pro Pilot, so it could actually center itself in the lane. So when you're in traffic, you can actually have it center. Japanese models have that. This one doesn't. Okay, there you go. This one doesn't, which is kind of sad. You know, especially for a car this price, I would really like if it had Pro Pilot Assist. But it doesn't. It's not the end of the world, though, I think. For the type of, oh, I think it's a 30 here. Must have been a 30 sign back there to go left. Not a 30, it's a 50, I think. I would like if it showed your GPS speed on the screen itself. It doesn't though, which is fine. Not the end of the world. Again, lots of things in this car is not the end of the world. It's just there. In a kind of a world where there's mostly Teslas these days, it's nice that, I mean, there's lots of options these days. There's cheap options, there's like these options, there's obviously like expensive options. I feel like this kind of has a good place in the middle of everything. It works well. It has everything you'd need, and there's a box in the road, which, ooh yeah, let's not hit that. That would be unfortunate if I was to hit that box. It's a 50 here, so let's see if the car actually picks up the 50. I drive past the 50 sign and yeah, it picks it up. I did drift it to cycle. Anyway. Yeah, one pedal driving. I am not even pressing the brake right now, and I'm just using the one pedal system. Slow down, and then obviously bring myself to full stop here. Very nice, very well calibrated. I have stopped quite far off the line. I'm not used to obviously doing this, but you know what? You've got steering wheel controls, everything. This is really good. Speed limit, I think, is. Oh, that's okay. So you can't have a speed limiter on at the same time as adaptive cruise, which I guess makes sense. Oh, no. Yeah. 3 distance settings as well for adaptive cruise. See, this is guy turning left, and I know for a fact the system will slow down excessively, so I'm actually just going to hit the accelerator. And the good thing is you can hit the accelerator, override it, and now that I am back in my lane, and there's no one in front, it will actively just do the steering. Actually, not actively do the steering, but it will actively keep my distance. Yeah, nicely. You just have to, I guess, hit the accelerator when you're in a city like this and you're using it. I only use it so then I don't have to really hit the accelerator or brake, though it is a bit jerky in cities. On motorways, though, when you're moving along with traffic, I find that this system is really well calibrated. It's really nice. Okay, never mind. I think I hit the wrong exit. Let me nice. Hazard. Always say thank you. If I'm get mad at someone on the road and they do that little thank you with the hazard lights, I get happy. I don't care if they're almost close to crash. They said thank you at least. That's the important thing. So I'm using it on 2 distance settings. Maybe on 3 it would be less jerky, although that would really increase my following distance to a lot more than I would like. But again, here we are at Nissan. So my wrapping up thoughts is that this car is perfect. We'll stop here at the light though. This car is like a really good all-rounder. This is like a sensible car. If you buy Model 3 Performance, you love performance cars. If you buy a Nissan Leaf, you are just sensible. You want a car which does everything, which is like all-rounder. It does everything well. It does everything well. It's not the best at everything, but it does everything. And it does it decently enough that it's actually good. This is a very good car. The only wish list I would have about this car is a fully digital display in the front. I don't really care so much about having a bigger, you know, how would I say this? I don't really care so much about having a bigger infotainment. I feel like this infotainment system is fine. Maybe in the next update of this car, although I have heard lots of rumors that this is the last Leaf and it might be going away soon. And if you want a really good deal, you should really come to Armstrong Nissan dealer. They are giving really good deals on these cars, as they are kind of on their... It's beeping at me because I'm getting close to something. I'm not though. Okay. I don't know where I should park. Yeah, I think I'm getting close to something, but I'm not. I don't know what that's about. Whether it's the car just not... Maybe it's not working at all. Actually, we'll try a parallel parking test behind my car. Yeah, there we go. A bit awkward. Anyway. I'll actually try parallel parking behind my car, because that when my car is parked, you can probably... I don't know if you can see it, but it is a silver Nissan Leaf, so it'll actually indicate to park, parallel park behind my car. It's gonna feel like an old ass car when I get into my one again, which, you know, definitely is. Turn off e-pedal for this so I can actually nicely in between both cars. Perfect. So let me take this thing out of the map just to show you this. Yeah, so it actually does show you on this as well how close you are to the other cars, and on this as well when you're like actually put them in reverse. Yeah, it shows you in there, and when you're in drive for a little bit. Yeah, but now that I'm parked, I'm in the car. Yeah, really good car. Thank you for watching. If you have any other videos you'd like to see with this Nissan Leaf, please leave a comment down below, and I will obviously answer any questions you have. So, and yeah, thank you for watching, and thank you for Armstrong Nissan for giving me this car to review. And thank you for watching.